My mother stood in an empty banquet hall in her mother-of-the-groom dress, holding a wrapped gift, while 2 rooms over the staff swept up confetti from a wedding that had already happened the night before. Mine. I'm the youngest of 4 by 11 years. The accident. The afterthought. My siblings were grown and gone before I finished elementary school. And somewhere in my teens, my parents just clocked out. Not cruel. Absent. There's a difference. And honestly, the absence is worse because there's nothing to point at. When I turned 16, my best friend's family threw us a joint party since our birthdays were a week apart. They invited my whole family. My siblings never responded. My parents said they had plans that weekend. Plans they'd never once mentioned when I'd asked a month earlier. They swore my siblings would come instead. 2 days out, all 3 texted variations of work thing, sorry. 18th birthday, dinner at a steakhouse I'd saved for myself. Siblings, working, dad, a medical procedure, mom, visiting a cousin upstate. I called the clinic later that week asking how to send a card for dad's recovery. They had no record of him. Nothing scheduled, nothing done. High school graduation, Thursday afternoon. Everyone had appointments that couldn't move. College graduation, Sunday morning. Same sentence, almost word for word, like they'd group drafted it. I started therapy because I was sure the problem was me, some flaw I couldn't see. My therapist kept telling me family takes work, keep the door open, give them chances, so I did, for years. When Sophia said yes, I told her I didn't know if I could have them at the wedding. She suggested one last test. Invite everyone to the engagement party. If they came, we'd rebuild. If they didn't, I'd finally have my answer and could stop bleeding for it. Party was a Friday at 7. Every single one of them, parents, 3 siblings, spouses, claimed medical appointments at 7 on a Friday night. 6 households, 1 excuse. I sat there that night surrounded by Sophia's loud, warm, ridiculous family, and something in me quietly closed. I blocked every number before I went to bed. We planned a small wedding, 50 people, at a vineyard hall an hour out of town. No invitations went to my side. 3 weeks before, my mother called from an unknown number asking when hers was coming. I said the only honest sentence I had, I knew you'd all be too busy. She started yelling about disrespect, about how dare I. I hung up and blocked that number too. Then came the emails from ancient accounts, the Facebook messages from my brother's wife, the guilt trips through second cousins. My therapist said I was being too harsh and would regret it forever. I walked out of that session mid-sentence and never went back. 4 days before the wedding, Sophia's cousin called, uneasy. My oldest sister had found her online and sweet-talked her, fishing for the venue and time. The cousin gave up the venue name before she realized what was happening, so they knew where they were coming. After a decade of missing everything, they'd chosen my wedding day to finally show up, uninvited, unannounced, in front of everyone. We panicked, then we got smart. We called the venue, and the owner, an absolute legend, offered a solution. They had a Friday evening slot open due to a cancellation. We moved the entire wedding up by 1 day. 50 guests got a text about a scheduling conflict at the venue. Almost nobody blinked. The Saturday booking stayed on the books under my name, untouched. We got married Friday at sunset. Sophia's stepdad walked with me down the aisle because he's the one who actually taught me to tie a tie, drive stick, negotiate a salary. I cried through half my vows. Saturday afternoon, the venue owner texted me a photo, as promised. My whole family, dressed to the nines, gifts in hand, standing in a hall where the staff was breaking down someone else's flowers. My mother arguing with the coordinator. My siblings checking their phones, calling a number that was blocked. They waited 40 minutes. Then they got in their cars and left, the way they'd left every empty seat at every table of my life. I looked at that photo on my honeymoon and waited to feel guilty. It never came, just quiet. Would you have let them in, or was one closed door finally fair?